Last week, I got this lovely comment on one of my YouTube videos where I made a piece for a subscriber and it was a custom design that we did together. So let me read the comment to you. I wish I could afford some of your creations. They would look so nice in my rubbish bin next to my vegetable peelings. So I started making YouTube videos almost 2.5 years ago now, and 99% of the comments I get are absolutely amazing, and clearly you guys are enjoying the type of content that I'm putting out there. So I'm sharing the knowledge that I have from running my own jewelry business for the past 10 years. And this comment really made me stop and reflect on the time that I started my jewelry business and the insane imposter syndrome that I was filled to the brim with. I was so worried that people would think my jewelry isn't good enough. I was so worried that they would think that I don't have technical making skills. I used to worry so much about what people would think about it. Would they think it's too expensive? Would they even go and buy it? And the list went on. And that almost made me not even want to go and do it, because I was so worried about the response from people. And mainly, I was worried about comments just like this one. So in fact, what I did with my first collection that I put out there was I made it extremely complex and really technical to make. And at first I was like, wow, great, I made these things. Look, I am officially a jeweler. I have technical skills and I can make these complex pieces. But then when I started selling the pieces, and obviously I was undercharging massively, and then when a jewelry store took them on and they sold and they wanted me to restock, I found it highly annoying because they took so long and I wasn't making anywhere near enough money for them. And so I realized the reason I was making these complex, intricate pieces was because I felt like I needed to prove something to the world or to myself that I'm an official jeweler, I can do this. But then throughout my future designs, I decided actually I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm not going to make jewelry that I'm trying to prove something. I'm rather going to make jewelry that I enjoy making and that I think is aesthetically beautiful. And I really like clean, minimalist jewelry. So when I started making that and everybody started loving it and wanting to buy more of it, it slowly quelled that imposter syndrome and that voice inside me that was saying, you're not good enough. You need to make really complex jewelry to be successful. And so through that, I was able to let go of that judgment that I thought people were putting on me. They weren't doing anything. And it took 10 years to get a comment like this one, where a human actually wrote something criticizing my jewelry designs. And I was so terrified of that. And now, 10 years later, reading this comment, it actually just makes me laugh, because how ridiculous. Who writes something like that? It's just absolutely ridiculous. And this is not the only comment this lovely person left. Let me read the other comment that they left. You made a mistake. You said that you were going to use 0.6 sheet, and then you used a sheet labeled 9.0. That is 15 times the thickness, a huge mistake. Nonetheless, not bad for your first attempt. And obviously at first, my blood wanted to boil, but then I just read it and I was like, you are such a... because, let's be honest, if you think about it, 0.6, 9.0. So obviously that is just ridiculous, and it just shows your IQ level. And secondly, not bad for your first attempt. On a video labeled one of my best sellers. It's my most popular YouTube video. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check it out. If you haven't, I have made hundreds of those necklaces, and not bad for your first attempt. Who are you to say that? How do you even know? Do you not take note of the title? Anyway, the point is, it's actually just hilarious because it's so ridiculous. So anyway, that got me thinking that we are all on a road. When we start out making jewelry, we all start at the beginning, right? We have no idea how to create our first piece, and we all start somewhere, we learn, and there are people way further down the line than us. There are people behind us in the beginning. So there's always going to be people that you look up to. There's amazing jewelry designers that I look up to, and I'm always like, wow, they're super inspiring and incredible. And there's jewelry designers who are just starting that I admire the passion that they're just getting into it. And that is amazing. So seeing as we all start somewhere and we have a destination we want to get to, which is being a jewelry designer who runs a successful jewelry business. So along this road, we all generally start with learning how to make jewelry. And that is super fun, super exciting, and there's loads of different ways we can go about learning this, as well as also learning the business side if we want to turn it into a business. So let's look at my road as an example. When I started, I obviously knew nothing about jewelry making, nothing about running a business, and there was a lot that I needed to learn. So I was at A and I wanted to get to Z. So I needed to fill in the information gaps to help me get to Z. So I identified, first of all, the areas that I needed to focus on to grow and to get to Z. So that meant, in some cases, I needed to outsource things. In some cases, I needed to educate myself by doing loads of courses. I did a course for making, I did a course about social media, I did a course about branding, I did a course about sales psychology, I did a course about Facebook ads, and the list goes on. So this is basically how I was able to upscale my self-development. So I'm going to tell you something that most people won't tell you, and that is that your business cannot outgrow your mindset. And this was a huge game changer for me in terms of my business growth. Your personal growth is always going to be mirrored in your business's success. You cannot grow faster than the rate that you are growing yourself. And so think about this along the road. So you are here, you have all of this information at A, and you want to get to Z. There's a lot of information and a lot of mindset shifts that need to be made along the way. So how are you going to make those shifts unless you actively push yourself out of your comfort zone, seek out knowledge, seek out help from somebody who's been there before and done that already? So that's exactly what I did, and that's the only reason I'm sitting here today with a YouTube channel, because trust me, the imposter syndrome was huge when I started making my jewelry, when I started doing the YouTube channel, when I started doing the coaching, but I knew that I didn't know everything when I started, so I reached out, I took courses, and I filled those gaps to be able to have all of that knowledge to be in the position I am today. But I didn't start there, and I didn't know all the information when I started. Oh, hell no. But I learned it all along the way. And I remember clearly, often Emil and I, my boyfriend and I, would have these big moments where we'd have these expansion moments of our mindset and realize like, oh, wow, I feel like we've just up-leveled a little bit, thinking back at ourselves a couple of months before and realizing that we'd really shifted our mindset in terms of what we're capable of and what we know. So upscaling in terms of our mindset and our skills. So this is something that is so important, and the people who are willing to do this are the ones who are going to really make it. So on that note, some of you who follow me on Instagram might have seen a post where I said I am looking to work with 10 jewelry designers to help them scale their businesses in 90 days. What you need to do, if you're interested in working with me in that way, is to DM me on Instagram. So head over there and follow me and DM me the word gold. I've already had quite a few people reach out to me, but I'm really looking for those people who have a fire underneath them, who are super keen and super motivated and are ready to invest in themselves and their future success. So those are the people I am super excited to work with. So if that is you, then reach out to me on Instagram and DM me gold, and let's have a conversation and see if that person is you.